Noah, Hinkstay Stongo, Kikirus. What's up, guys? What's up, people? What's up, family? All across the country. My name is Quese IMC, and I'm going to take you on a little adventure today. We're going to be in my house with my family. We're going to venture off into the backyard to the sweat lodge, make a hand drum. We're also going to go to a traditional earth lodge and teepee. Not only that, I'm going to take you to a special place in the Greenwood Historical District called Black Wall Street to visit one of my bros in his shop. And also, we're going to share music, we're going to share culture, identity, and we're going to share the connection that we have as Indigenous people from our family to all creation. So I hope you enjoy this day as we go on this little adventure and I share this Indigenous day in the life of me to y'all in a good way. So as always, have a beautiful day. Chicks to anyway, and as always, make a friend. XJ Stongo. Indigenous Peoples Day. How I would like to start this is with my family. This is our Seminole bloodline right here, as we were all a Bear Clan. And so what I believe what Indigenous Peoples Day is every day. And so to me, that represents the village. So this is our family interpreted through music as the village. And I want to start this off with the Stajati song as we're all going to sing Emonayades. Yemonayades, Yemonayades, Jesus Jah, Ujazi, Yemonayades, Chanu Keke Walk the young he Shanu Keke Walk a young Jesus Jah, Ujazi, Amunang Iwe Kayange, Amunang Iwe Kayange, Imunayades, Imunayades, Jesus Jah, Ujazi, Imunayades, Imunayades, Jesus Jah, Ujazi, Imunayades. Mado is my sister, my mother, my brother, and my niece and nephew. So, Hindi Mahi, Mado, Dada Chikstahu.
Hindi Mahi, Mado. Hello.
Inan, hello.
Chiho. Sakat is Shinaot. Akat is Momes Kome. Awachkim. Before we start anything, we always want to start our fires. And our fire, our taruts, is a sacred part of our ceremonial way of life. I want to share this part with y'all because I feel it's important that we normalize our way of life as Indigenous people so that we can put that good spirit and energy through this phone, through this technology. So what I want to do here is we have the fire going right here, and I'm gonna put some of this sage on. The sage will be the first part of just us cleansing ourselves and purifying the air because tonight we're gonna have a sweat lodge, and it's a full moon, so we're gonna have a Pahu Chisu, sacred sweat lodge here on the full moon. So I'm gonna put some of this cedar on right now and a couple of these logs to get this this fire going even more. So I wanted to do that, give you a good blessing here. Put this medicine on so maybe you can feel that, you know, and out there, wherever you are, hear the importance of our indigenous spirituality, indigenous heritage month, but living an indigenous life every day. As we sit here at the sweat, waiting for this taruts, this sacred fire, to be prepared and prepare these grandfathers. Our sweat, our Kirichisu, is very important. It's a place where we can utilize it for healing of your spirit, your mind, your emotions, your physical being. And not only that, you can use it to pray for your loved ones and those you care about, and the world and creation, sacred Mother Earth, like the water and everything going on in the world. And that's what we believe in regards to our spirituality in the Kirichisu here at this Pawnee sweat. So anyway, tudahe hinimahe maro. Akitaro sukste warare tiro de tawe yo hai eros ka kuda situ jitu tire de tawe yo hai tiro de tawe 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 yo hai eros ka kuda to tire de to yo hai akitaro sukste warare tiro de to yo hai eros ka kuta to tire de to yo hai mero tudahe. I'd like to welcome you into one of our sacred dwellings. This is our traditional Pawnee home. We call it an Akaraduta'u, or it could be translated into an earth lodge or a mud lodge. And as you look in, you'll see 4 center pillars here in this particular Akaraduta'u. And these represent a certain color, they represent a certain animal and an element. And if you look straight across into the west, because that's the west, the east is the doorway. That's where we would have our ceremonial altars. And on this particular altar, we have a Daraha Paksu, which is the buffalo skull. And in the morning, this doorway right here, the sun will rise, and that first sunshine will touch the altar of the buffalo skull, giving it a renewal, like a blessing. So I want to take you into the Earth Lodge and show you a little bit about it. So in the center of the Earth Lodge, these are our homes. So you would have families living all around the edge of the Earth Lodge. And it usually would start with the elders would be here closer to the doorway, and then the children would be closer to the altar. That's because we would protect our children in case an enemy tribe would try to come in. It would be the elders and the warriors, you know, could protect the women and children close by the altar. And in the center, we have our taruts. So this is our taruts, our sacred fire. And the fire represents, you know, a part of creation, a part of our creation story. And it also represents healing and to bring heat into the Earth Lodge. Inside this Earth Lodge, it's usually about 10 degrees cooler in the summer and about 10-15 degrees warmer in the winter.
Noah, Duda, hey, Duda Chicks to Who. My name is Brian Freejo, come from the Skeety Chawi band of the Pawnee Nation and Nukasogi of the Seminole people. That's the Bear Clan. Say aho, Duda, hey.
We're in a Gadachapi right here. This is Gadachapi, which translates to teepee in Pawnee. And these poles, these are the dari socks. These are the poles that hold up the teepee. This is one of our dwelling places whenever we would be nomadic, or we would be on buffalo hunts. We would take these teepees and we would set them up. The teepee is different than the Agata Da'u. The Agata Da'u was our permanent home. The teepee was whenever we were moving about. So in the teepee here, it's utilized a lot for Native American church, which is the peyote meeting. So my brother and I, we're gonna share a Native American church or a peyote song for you right now.
Nihanoa, Nihana Noa, Nihanoa, Nihana Noa, Nihana, Yana Yana, Hena, Heneoa, Nihanoa, Nihana Noa, Nihanoa, Nihana Noa, Nihana, Yana Yana, Hena, Heneoa. Nihanoa, Nihana Noa, Nihanoa, Nihana Noa, Nihana, Yana Yana, Hena, Heneoa. Nihanoa, Nihana Noa, Nihanoa, Nihana Noa, Nihana, Yana Yana, Hena, Heneoa.
So I wanted to show you how I make this hand drum. The one that we use in Pawnee, it's called a hakupidus. So what I want to do first is I soaked this elk hide. I soaked it in water, so you can notice that it's soaked in water right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hide puncher, and I'm going to punch these holes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch them all across each other, and there's going to be 8. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. So when I get these holes punched, I'm going to wrap this around the rim of the drum, and then I'm going to use the string. I'll show you that here shortly, the hide string, and I'll show you how I tie it off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this flat right here, and set it right here. I want to center it directly in the middle. So I'm gonna line it right here, and I have this hide string that I soaked right here.
My grandma's brother.
So when I lay this hide down, I want to make sure that I have this correct side. So this is This is the back, okay? You can tell like it's a lighter color. This is the front. So this is the side that we're gonna be hitting on. So this is a darker. So I'll put that like that again, center it. And then I'm gonna go from inside to out. So it's almost like this is one of the most basic ways you can make a hand drum. Probably one of the most easiest ways. One of the more simpler ways. It's almost like tying your shoe. So once I get this tied in there, I want to make sure it's even. So that looks about even right there. And then I'll just throw it over. And then if you want to come a little closer, I pull it right here. Pull this down a little bit more. I pull this like that, and I don't want to pull it too tight because when it dries, it could snap. So I'll just get it just right, maybe like about just like that. And then I want to center it. So I make a cross right in the middle, and then from here, I'll go through this side again, just like I did in the beginning. And then I'll go through this side right here, and I'll turn it this way, cross it, and then I want to pull, and then I can straighten it out right here in the middle. So this is the first cross right there that I'm gonna do. So when I get to the end, I want to make like a little handle. So I have it all tied off now. So I want to make a handle on this one. So I'll go around these three, and this will be so that whenever you're using the hand drum, you have a place to put your hands. So now what I want to do is I want to fold it over so that it all flows in the same direction, almost like the Milky Way. So I notice that it's kind of going a natural this way. So I'm gonna fold these over. And then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go get some clamps, and I'm gonna clamp it down and show you how it'll look when it's dried. Okay, now that I have it all going this way, I'm gonna clamp it down. And what I do is I just fold it over like this, fold it down, and I'll put the clamp on. So there you have it. This is how you're gonna make your hand drum, and this is what the other side will look. So I'm gonna set this in the sun, so this will be ready to go tomorrow. And as you can see right now, it's just, you can't hear it, but whenever it's dry, it'll have a really nice sound. I wanted to also express something in this pop-up classroom in regards to something that is very important and very spiritually connected to my spirit, and that's the importance of red and black unity. I have my relative here, and I'll let him express himself on what he feels about being here and what's going on beyond these doors.
Okay, I'm Cleo Harris, Jr., the store owner of Black Wall Street T-shirts and souvenirs. I was raised here on Greenwood, played down here, went to school here, and even graduated from the University of Tulsa. What I'm seeing today, like my brother said, there's just a total disrespect. There's desecration all over Tulsa. in terms of how they massacred our people. But know your history. Know what happened down here on Black Wall Street, historic Greenwood District. Know that in 1921, it wasn't a race riot. It was a race massacre. This is still holy ground. For that matter, that people died. And, it's still a crime scene. No one has been charged for well over 300 to 3,000 black bodies that were burned, shot, buried up under the baseball park, the streets of downtown, the highways and cemeteries all over Tulsa, bodies thrown in the river. They didn't get a proper burial. And that's what makes this holy ground. And what they're doing here now is just like covering it back up. That's what we call desecration. So even though it was a good thing intentionally, it also brought a lot of confusion down here, and yet the black community still suffers. And so now you see that the city of Tulsa, who's supposed to be this great city, they have repaved over the whole Black Lives Matter.
As a Pawnee and as a Seminole, it really bothers me. It really bothers me that they can antagonize our spirit, the spirit and solidarity that we have as Indigenous people within my family to support our black relatives. And for them to desecrate this symbol of life, of hope, of a future is very disturbing. Because as a Native, we know what it feels like to suffer from massacres, the pillaging of villages, the taking of our children through the boarding school era, the Indian Wars, all the pain, the genocide, the American Holocaust that our ancestors have gone through. It really bothers me that even today it's still there. A long time ago, during the removal of many tribes, there was many very harsh journeys that our ancestors had to go through during the Indian Wars. Our Seminole people went through 3 wars, and through those wars they were fighting for the right to live, fighting for the right to be who they are as a people who wanted to live as they've always lived. And in those struggles and in those battles, they carried songs. And it was those songs that had the spirit that pushed our ancestors forward so that myself, my brother, could be here today as Bear Clan, as Nugazogi. And when we carry those songs, we carry them with that same spirit that pushed and carried our people forward. So we want to share a song that touches our heart, one of the old spirituals, Creek Seminole hymns, and that it may encourage you in your life just as it has encouraged and helped us in ours. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Meko One thing that I wanted to share in this pop-up classroom is the importance of education. a lot of times the education isn't academic, but it can be cultural, it can be spiritual. And for us, what we want to teach you today is the importance of identity. Identity is very beautiful, knowing who you are, where you come from, and in understanding that, understanding what it is that could be for you in the future. I remember one time somebody told me, or actually I heard somebody say, you know, because a lot of times in schools you deal with bullying and people talking about each other. I remember one time somebody said, they laughed at me, they made fun of me because I was trying to learn our native language. And there's nothing more beautiful than an indigenous person learning their language, because we're always going to learn. I will never know it all. We're always going to learn until we become like the ancestors. And so when I heard that, it kind of frustrated me a bit. But I think in life, when you maneuver through those times and you keep pushing forward and you keep trying to learn, you keep applying yourself, then all those blessings and all that information will come through. So don't ever stop learning, keep opening your mind. And I hope through these songs, through these words, it inspires you to find out who you are, where you come from, and connect to all creation around you. Easy, heck nah, it's been a long road. It's quite alright because we've been foretold. Modern day warrior in modern day time, where people have a line and we're seeing all the signs. Hear it in the people and we see it in the skies. See it in the people and we see it in their eyes. The people are fed up cause they haven't been fed. Hungry for the knowledge, we've been misled. Misled by the media, misled by the news. Update, they want you to stay tuned. Propaganda on the screen, mental breakthrough. Yo, curb the mind control to keep you satisfied and glued. To my people out there who stay fat and amused, my people wake up, we can't lose. We pay mad dues, now we must gather. Young warriors and what we do matters. We're young warriors, path we roam. This ain't Hollywood, yo, this is our home. We're different, we fight and resistant. Walk the red road, that's why we stay young warriors, happy and alive. We made it this far cause our grandma survived. Indigenous pride as we ball up our fists. 500 years cause we say I resist. Young warriors, path we roam. This ain't Hollywood, yo, this is our